Ready for the restart. Scott Speed was the free pass car. Elliott Sadler took the wave around, and Bobby Labonte is back on track after a rear end replacement. Matt Kenseth leads Carl Edwards, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, and Greg Biffle as we crank it up on the restart at lap 92. Turn 3, Montoya in the fence along with Jamie McMurray.
Took his teammate. That's teammates right there. Here. And Kurt Busch, the 2 car, was heavily involved.
That'll put us back under caution at lap 94. Right front damage.
Going up really bad.
For McMurray, that's his assessment of it. And worse for Montoya.
So what happens here getting down the corner? They're all bunched up heading into turn 3.
Left side of your screen.
Just a little contact there. McMurray into the side of the 42 car. Montoya.
It's almost like McMurray's car walked up just a little bit, maybe. It's almost like maybe Montoya came down, McMurray maybe went up just a little bit. Didn't take much.
That's what happens right there. The guy on the outside's got to make the corner. Yep, little contact.
And Kurt Busch, the pole sitter, with nowhere to go. Matt, what they say on the radio?
Jamie Mack just told Bono, he said, "My fault, I apologize. I went to turn down, the car got loose."
Yep.
And then you can't turn the wheel.
He was sort of in that spot where the air on the side of the car in front of you just makes your car get a little bit loose.
You know, these cars are kind of evil sometimes on low air pressure. They'll be a little bit on the free side or the loose side.
Fifth caution of the day. Montoya, McMurray, and pole sitter Kurt Busch get together.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing, presented by Pennzoil, is sponsored by Chevy. Every model is backed by a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. By Aflac. Aflac is insurance for daily living. Get to know Quack at noquack.com. And by Amp Energy. Go to ampupthe88.com this Wednesday, March 3rd, to chat live with the 88 team engineer. We're live in Atlanta.
I'm feeling it, boys.
Racing in Atlanta is like a rubber band.
Atlanta's an animal all to itself.
You ready for some drama?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's on.
Let's crank it up.
This is the hottest show on TV right here. You want evil? That's evil.
Atlanta next Sunday, noon Eastern time with NASCAR on Fox. Another mile and a half, more banking, more speed, more action. First big one of the day, Jamie McMurray and Juan Pablo Montoya both aim for the same spot in the corner, and they collect pole sitter Kurt Busch. Look like everybody's going to be able to continue with damage.
Yeah, Kurt Busch has been in the pits and doing quite a bit of work on that right front. I think might be able to get it good enough to race.
So we get ready for the restart with Matt Kenseth, your leader, Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart, and Greg Biffle, the front 5. Matt?
Bono, you sent Gary Putnam and the guys over the wall. How much damage did you have to fix?
Well, I haven't really got to talk to him too much yet, but it definitely tore up a little bit. The last thing you want to do is wreck, especially with a great teammate like Juan and Brian. So tough circumstances today, but you know, we're going to make the best out of it today.
A lot of bear bound they were working on that side. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. The green flag will wave to begin lap 98. 97 complete this time by out of 267 laps. Matt Kenseth brings him across, but Jeff Gordon timed that restart perfectly.
Matt spun the tires just enough to give Jeff a little bit of a jump, but I think Matt's going to fight back here on the outside.
They restart without Kurt Busch, whose car is still under repair in the pit lane.
Guys, I'm going to tell you who's becoming a player here. We talked about him earlier, like in hot slick tracks. It's Tony Stewart, that 14 car. He's moved into the top 5. He's in 4th right now.
For the lead, side by side. Gordon on the outside, Kenseth on the inside with his teammate Carl Edwards behind him.
17 car Kenseth is strong down in the bottom of that racetrack. Man, he got underneath Jeff Gordon and powered up out of 2 or 4.
It's almost like Gordon's maybe a little stronger on the high side through 1 and 2. Kenseth a little better down in 3 and 4.
I think when you run low in 1 and 2, you cross those bumps, upsets the car just a little bit. Here's where Matt's really strong. When he gets back in it right here, he's been really pull up underneath Jeff Gordon.
Gordon's car a little loose in the transition there.
That's what happens when you get the nose of that inside car right along your rear quarter panel. Kind of loosens you up. That's what happened to the 1 car.
Kurt Busch is back in the race. The pole sitter has lost 3 laps due to crash damage. As Gordon hangs tough on the outside and gets a good run off turn 2.
When you're down on the bottom like Matt is, Mike, you need the whole racetrack. You need to be able to come off and coast, let the car go all the way out to the wall. When somebody's out there, it hinders you just a little bit.
You know, as I watch those 2 guys racing side by side, Gordon and Kenseth, they have a little history here. 2008, they wrecked with 5 to go racing for 3rd. They also had history at Bristol, at Chicagoland. They had a lot of history with each other.
I bet they don't even remember that, Larry.
But I bet you they could.
Until now.
When Paulo Montoya has been released from the care center, Dick Berggren.
Well, Juan Montoya is taking a look at what is left of the back end of his race car. Your teammate Jamie McMurray has apologized for the incident. How bad is the car? Could you get it back out?
Get it back out, you know. I know he's trying to prove a point to show everybody he can drive a race car, but it really ruined our days. You know, this for the chase, it doesn't help. You know, we had a problem last week with the motor, and this week this. It's painful. I don't know. He nearly run me into the fence out of 2 as well, and going to 3, and then plain simple just wrecked us. So I don't know. Not doing himself too many favors.
Indeed. Juan Montoya, thank you.
And let me correct Dick, because Montoya drove his car back to the garage. He did not have to take the mandatory trip to the care center as if he had gotten out of that car at turn 3.
All I know is I believe there's a team meeting coming at Ganassi, Earnhardt Ganassi Racing.
That's his teammate he's talking about. So what if that wasn't his teammate and that happened?
Well, this battle right here is starting to shape up for 3rd place. You see Biffle out there in the 16 car, Jimmy Johnson. He keeps working the high side of the racetrack. And a guy we've not talked about, Jeff Burton in that 31 car, he's now working on the top 5.
Jeff Burton, the best of the Childress cars right now.
I've been watching that 31 car, and he had just been slowly climbing up through there. Started back in the 22nd position, and there you see it. He'll just take that position away from the 99. Krista, it looks like the more we get into this race, the better that 31 car is.
Yeah, just slow and steady for the veteran driver. They started out a little bit tight in the middle, Larry Mack, when on the last stop, Jeff told his crew chief, Todd Barrier, he just needed some more overall grip.
Thanks, Krista. Carl Edwards backing up just a bit. He was passed by Burton, and now Krista, Tony Stewart steams past the 99, or excuse me, Steve, into 6th place.
Well, Mike, first things first, his pit crew ripped off a great stop on their last pit stop. The other thing, though, Tony Stewart, one of the drivers we're starting to hear say the track is starting to rubber up. This track is starting to have more grip. He's taking advantage of it.
I agree, Steve. The track is definitely blacker than it was when we started this race.
Interesting thing. Just think about this. Those first, 9 out of 10 cars, 3 car owners, Childress, Roush, and Hendrick.
And that 9th place car is a Joe Gibbs machine. Just in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr. is Kyle Busch. Here's Dick.
Kyle has a pair of problems, Mike. One of them is he's still not getting out of his pit. They've tried soaking that pit with cola. They've tried to clean it off, re-soaked it again. He still can't get out of the pit on pit stops, and he thinks his power steering is beginning to go away.